and welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. In a televised address, the President of the Republic congratulates the Algerian people on the occasion of Eid al-Adha feasts. The President of the Republic exchanges wishes with a number of Arab presidents on the occasion of Eid al-Adha feasts. Pilgrims ascend the Mount Arafat, the crucial phase in the annual pilgrimage rituals. And Morocco is once again blamed for drug trafficking, tarnishing furthermore its fragile reputation at the international level. First in the news, the President of the Republic addressed the nation on the occasion of Eid al-Adha feast, wishing them happy Eid. Let's have a listen to him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصل اللهم وسلم على حبيبنا ونبينا وإمامنا سيدنا محمد ألف صلاة وألف سلام عليه وعلى آله. أخواتي المواطنات، إخواني المواطنين، بمناسبة عيد الأضحى المبارك أتقدم إليكن وإليكم بأسمى آيات التهاني والتبريكات داخل الوطن وخارجه، راجيا من الله أن يعيده علينا بالخير والبركة ودوام الاستقرار في كنف الأخوة والتضامن والتآزر الذي عهدناه في شعبنا المؤمن. أتمنى لشعبنا عيد مبارك، وأن يوفقنا الله جميعا لما فيه خير لبلدنا المفدى ولأمتنا ولأهلنا في فلسطين الجريحة، متمنيا لحجاجنا الميامين العودة لوطنهم سالمين غانمين إن شاء الله. كما لا يفوتني في هذه المناسبة التنويه بجهود كل العاملين المداومين في خدمة المواطنين في هذه الأيام المباركة. وفي الأخير نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يديم علينا نعمة الأمن والأمان، ويتغمد شهدائنا الأبرار برحمته الواسعة. عيدكم مبارك سعيد، وكل عام وأنتم بخير. تحيا الجزائر أبية شامخة، المجد والخلود لشهدائنا الأبرار، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, exchanged greetings with his Egyptian counterpart, Abdel Fattah Sisi, on the occasion of Eid al-Adha, wishing him and the Algerian people greater well-being and stability. For his part, the President offered Sisi his best wishes for health and well-being and further progress and prosperity for the brotherly Egyptian people. The President of the Republic received a phone call from his brother Mahmoud Abbas, President of the State of Palestine, in which he presented his wishes for Eid al-Adha, wishing him and the Algerian people prosperity and stability. For his part, the President of the Republic thanked the Palestinian President for this fraternal message, wishing him and the brotherly Palestinian people well-being and tranquility. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, exchanged greetings by phone with his brother, the President of the Republic of Tunisia, Qais Said, on the eve of Eid al-Adha, wishing him and the brotherly Tunisian people well-being and progress. In turn, the President Said thanked his brother, the President of the Republic, and wished him the best of health and well-being and more progress and prosperity for the Algerian people. Following the death of Salim Said, Mujahid and former colonel in the People's National Army, the President of the Republic extended a message of condolences to the family of the deceased, praying God to grant him mercy and to lend his family patience. Pilgrims, including Algerians, ascended the Mount Arafat to offer prayers and supplications on this crucial day of the Hajj rituals. On this intense day of worship, the preachers, including that of the Algerian mission, called for forgiveness and preservation of the martyrs' legacy meant to protect Algeria and represent it in a good way, being its ambassadors in the holy shrines. Huge numbers of Algerians continue to regain their homeland to spend the Eid al-Adha feast with their families. The details of their arrival at Houari Boumediene International Airport with Najah Tayyar.
These moments are full of emotions and joy for these Algerians living abroad who return to the country to find their loved ones and celebrate Eid al-Adha with the whole family. I am very happy for coming to spend the Eid with our family. It has been a long while being abroad. It is nice to be back to Algeria. I am always excited to be here in Algeria with my family and spend good holidays. We are happy to be home and to spend the Eid with the family. I cannot express my joy of coming back to the country after a long absence to spend the Eid with my family. To ensure the best welcome to our community, facilitations and new measures have been taken at the level of the various airport infrastructures, as here at the Houari Boumediene International Airport. Within the framework of the Customs Services Program concerning the care of Algerians living abroad and in application of the guidelines of the high authorities, a series of facilitation measures have been taken to welcome and facilitate the departure of the Algerian travelers living abroad at the airport Houari Boumediene. Our elements ensure to welcome them in the best conditions. With facilitations made, even more Algerians can spend the Eid with their families at the mother country Algeria in the best festive atmosphere.
A government meeting was chaired by Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman. A draft executive decree on the unique national identification number was presented by the Minister of Interior. In the finance field, the Minister presented a progress report on the progress of multi-sector working group in charge of examining the issue of bank debts contracted by beneficiaries of the National Agency for the Support and Development of Enterprises. The government also heard a presentation on the pension scheme for Mujahideen and martyrs beneficiaries. Finally, the Minister for Labour, Employment and Social Security gave a presentation on the introduction of contractual arrangements for medical care. Military graduation ceremonies are being held here and there across the national territory, making the end of a successful training in several fields. Melissa Kebash has the details.
School specialized in helicopters, Martyr Bala Tuhami, celebrated the graduation of its formations. The ceremony was presided over by Commander of the Aerial Forces of the People's National Army, Major General Mahmoud Laraba. This promotion was marked by the graduation of female helicopter pilots, a first in history of the People's National Army's aerial forces. In his speech, the commander of the school hailed the level of military and practical training received by the graduates up to the ongoing technical development, allowing them to accomplish in the best possible way their assigned missions, adding that the school's aspiration is to reinforce the aerial forces of the People's National Army. The laureates then received their ranks and diplomas before taking the oath and passing down the flag to the next class. The graduation class bear the name of Martyr Belqasem Swalem. Finally, a military parade was executed. The family of Martyr Belqasem Swalem was honored, and the Golden Register of the school was signed by the commander of the aerial forces of the People's National Army. For their part, 6 formations graduated from the Higher School of Armed Weapons, Martyr Muhammad Qadri. Their graduation ceremony was presided over by the Major General Noordin Hambli, commander of the 5th Military Region, who started by inspecting the graduates. The commander of the school recalled the main axes of the training alongside military and scientific knowledge acquired by the trainees, calling them to honor the People's National Army and face the challenges as once did the heroes of the National Liberation Army, hoping to raise the school's level and ensure the execution of their missions with professionalism. After taking the oath, ranks and diplomas were granted to the graduates, followed by the handover of the national flag. The graduating promotions bear the name of veteran Abdelkader Shengriha after receiving the approval of Major General Noordin Hambli, commander of the 5th Military Region. Military exercises and that of martial arts were exhibited alongside a military parade carried by students. At the end of the ceremony, the family of veteran Abdelkader Shengriha was honored, while the school held open doors. And the 1st Military Region, it was the Higher School of Transmissions, Abdel Hafid Boussouf, who witnessed the graduation of military formations. The ceremony was launched by the inspection of graduates by General Yusuf Nabil Titouche, head of Transmissions and Information Systems Department, and that of Electronic War at the National Defense Ministry. On this occasion, the commander of the higher school hailed the efforts deployed to ensure good training, hoping for the results achieved by students to live up to the school's aspirations. The graduates took the oath and received their ranks and diplomas, followed by the handover of the flag to the next class. The General Yusuf Nabil Titouche then approved to name the graduating class Martyr Nani Bashir. A parade was then organized by students, reflecting a high level of cohesion. At the end, General Yusuf Nabil Titouche visited an exhibition which included students' end-of-studies projects before honoring the family of Martyr bin Nani Bashir and signing the Golden Book of the school.
Thanks to the efforts of the ANP security services, the terrorist Mohammed Malouki, called alias Al-Qaqa, surrendered to the military authorities in Burj Baji Mukhtar in the 6th Military Region. The terrorist joined the armed terrorist group in the Sahel in 2012, had in his possession a Kalashnikov machine pistol, 2 grenades, a quantity of ammunition and other items. Detachments of the People's National Army also arrested 11 elements supporting terrorist groups in various operations. As part of the fight against crime, organized crime and in continuation of the sustained efforts to thwart the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the ANP in coordination with the various security services intercepted 79 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to smuggle 7 quintals and 8 kilograms of Kiev from the borders with Morocco and seized more than 356,700 psychotropic tablets. In Tamnarast, Burj Beji, Mukhtar and Ain Gizam, the ANP detachments arrested 322 individuals and seized 55 vehicles, 182 generators, 59 jackhammers, 4 metal detectors, 178 tons of mixed raw gold and stones, as well as quantities of explosives, detonation tools and equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. In addition, 26 other individuals were arrested and 9 hunting rifles, 84 tons of foodstuffs intended for smuggling and speculation, 190 tons of copper scrap and 11 quintals of tobacco were seized in separate operations across the country. And in coordination with the National Gendarmerie and Customs Services, the border guards also failed attempts to smuggle more than 135,900 liters of fuel in Tamnarast, Burj Beji, Mukhtar Tibissa, Suqras and Tarif. On the other hand, the Coast Guards foiled illegal immigration and rescued 45 people aboard home-built boats, while 150 illegal immigrants of various nationalities were arrested throughout the country. Abroad, the Spanish Sumer coalition, led by Yolanda Diaz, the second vice president of the Spanish government, has reaffirmed his position in support of the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination within the framework of the United Nations resolutions. This is a very clear position that we have always defended, declared Diaz, candidate for the presidency of the Spanish government. Once again, Morocco's reputation is tarnished by another drug trafficking scandal to several European countries via Spain, a case that might develop to include cocaine. Najah Diyar has the details.
كما كتعرفوا المغرب معروف عالميا بزراعة الحشيش وخصوصا واحد المنطقة اللي كتسمى بكتامة منطقة جبلية.
As the world's largest producer and exporter of drugs, it is not surprising to mention Morocco's direct involvement each time in world reports. And on the International Day Against Drug Trafficking, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has indicated that the development of cocaine routes to and through Morocco may have been facilitated by long-established routes for trafficking of cannabis resin to Spain. We really need the cannabis. Without it, we could die of hunger. That is the reason why all the family cultivate this plant. The same source indicates that the establishment supply chains that originally served the traffic of cannabis resin from Morocco to the rest of Europe, notably the Netherlands via Spain, may have been adapted to also ensure the trafficking of cocaine intended for distributors in Netherlands. In addition to land routes, the increased importance of maritime traffic is clearly apparent in the case of Morocco. Since 2016, the report editors estimate that significant quantities of cocaine arrived directly to Morocco by sea and not by transshipment from West Africa. When the cannabis arrives to the beach, you put it in boats, right on which your teams are. Huge quantities of drugs arrived here. We intercepted 1,000 to 2,000 kilograms every day. In addition, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime specifies in its reports that Morocco was the source of the majority of cannabis resin trafficking recorded in the Sahel in 2021, often intended for other North African countries and sometimes for countries in the Middle East and Europe. The cultivation of cannabis thus represents the most important source of foreign currency in the economy of Morocco.
With this moving footage of pilgrims' supplications in Mount Arafat, we wrap up our news, wishing you happy Eid, Eid Mubarak and good night.
إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك